Oh, you going? Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning? Tuesday morning, Development 360. It's time to get it in. My guest this morning is Norris Bo Bell. Man, I tell you, we got a long history where it goes way back. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes, and just talk about the state of player development and just a number of things that's going on in the field of basketball at this time. I hope everybody's been safe. It's been a great time, even though it's been a challenging time, but it's been great. I'm gonna invite Bo in right quick, and we're gonna get. Yeah, waiting for Bo to come in. Uh-oh. Good morning.
He is the greatest. What's up, boy?
What's that? How you doing? No, the
All right.
greatest. That's you.
Yeah. How you
That's
doing,
you,
brother?
man. That's you. How you doing?
Man, shoot, man.
Oh
God
man,
is
I'm
good,
great, man. I
man.
can't complain, man. Yeah, all
Yeah.
the time.
Family,
So,
everybody safe out there? Yeah.
Yeah, everything's great. We're just, like I said, making
Good.
adjustments. That's what it's about.
Right.
Every day,
Right.
making adjustments. You know how it goes.
Yep.
That's it, man. It's just been, it's good to just see you, man, and talk to you.
Always.
Wow. I was just telling the viewers as I was coming on and how far back we go, in terms of just, meeting you and when I met you and all that. It was great. Just, watching you, and learning at the same time. So, yeah, that was a good time, man. But everybody else is good with you?
Yeah, everybody else is good, man. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Kev. Yeah, Kev, man. It's been, this basketball world, man. It's a small community. People think it's a big thing. It's a very small community. You got a lot of wonderful people that's involved with it, but then also you got a lot of people that's in it. One, they don't have a clue what they're doing. Two, they ride into politics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Three. I mean, it's like I used to think knowledge was power, man.
Uh-huh.
But the truth is power. Truth is
Mm-hmm.
power because you can be taught the wrong thing, right? And
Yeah.
so being around people like yourself, I remember when we first met at Swanee Sports Academy, I think. That's when we first met.
2003.
Yeah, man. And, we were sharing information. I think you was feeding off of me. I was feeding off you. And that's what it's all about, man. Just helping and support. And you come to Atlanta, man, and you just show up at my gym and just come and sit in there. And I always, and I have you speak to the kids afterwards, man. I always admired that. I like that about you because ever since I've known you, you kind of remind me of myself. You always, even till this day, you're looking for ways to get better so you can help others, man. And I think that's what we have in common a lot, along with yourself and people like Dante and some of the other guys out there.
Yeah, I see Dante just made a comment there. What's up, Tay? But
Tay, what's up, Tay?
just going back, I remember that day when I came in there because my oldest daughter, lives in Swanee, and that's how I found the place. I was just riding around. At the time, just moved to Atlanta, just got married, moved to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you back. Yeah, once I got into Atlanta, I was trying to figure out the next step. I really wanted to be a part of the game. I was already in the player development business at that time, but not at a high level. I was just trying to get feet wet to a certain degree, and then I walked into the academy, and I saw Coach Cantwell. Ran into him. He recruited me when he was at Georgia Tech, and then we talked for a few minutes, and then all of a sudden he said, "Well, go in the gym and just kind of just chill for a minute." While I'm talking to some people, and then when I walked in, the first person I saw was you. And I saw you out there. I shook your hand. You get ready to get started with a session, and it was a one-on-one, and it was like a clinic from that point on for me because I just sat down and just watched how you orchestrated everything from a program standpoint, and that's when I started learning about curriculum training. Because we were so used to just coming in, grabbing guys, working with them on specifics, but you had a plan of action. And everything was, systemized, and everything began, with the lower body, with their feet. You were talking about this years ago, back in '03. The importance of the start feet, and you did probably like 10 or 15 minutes of drills without a ball in their hand,
Yep.
just working with their feet.
Yep.
And people, that kind of, that set a tone for me. And then obviously when the program started building there, I saw how you guys had all the programs from the beginner stage, the intermediate to the advanced. And then now, we work with, and the difference, how you work with an elite athlete versus the other levels. So watching that was great, man. I learned programming from you.
Wow. Well, the thing is too, that pollen away from that a little bit. Just watching your growth too, man, after that, coaching, just being in different arenas. I think the success of a true, and I call ourselves basketball connoisseurs, that's kind of what we are, because we always, looking to get better. And this is our life, man. It's like we would do this for free every day if we could, because we love it so much. It's,
Yeah.
and you got to be passionate about developing. And I think you have that passion. I think Tay and some of the other guys, I have that passion. But, it's a lot of guys doing it for the wrong reason. So, you get what you put in is what you get out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I just think that there's so many kids out here, and let's go to this, that's being misled, that's being misinformed, and is not getting the right information or not getting developed the correct way. Because, see, the game is revolving. And, it's, as you say, as as you can see, it's a positionless league now, So you got to possess what we call the global skills. You got to be able to dribble, pass, and shoot the basketball. Right nowadays, even if you're 7 feet, the post game is, it's foreign now to the league. It's okay to have the post, but right now, if you're not able to shoot, dribble, pass, and know how to play, you're not going to have that big of a chance to play on that next level. And so go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was saying, to kind of piggyback on what you were saying, you're right. We actually saw the game globalized as we were coming along. You were already in your career internationally. That's the thing that why we connected again, because of our international experience. You played over there for years before I got there. And you were kind of at the tail end of all that when I came over. And the game had changed dramatically since the time you got there. So, the game really changed at that moment internationally, because as Americans, we were taught when we come over, we had to be a jack of all trades. You had to be like Mike Green when we came
exactly.
over. You had to be able to handle.
Well, you know what? Yeah, everything. But okay, let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you what woke me up, man. I'm gonna tell you, when I first went to Europe, man, and they was doing the driving kick back then, bro. They was dribbling all the way to the basket and turning down layups. That was 25, 30 years ago. And I'm calling my boys back home. I said, man, these dudes turning down layups, man, for jump shots. I thought it was, but Lord and behold, the game is that now. And I was telling guys the whole time over the last 25 years, since you know me, man, I've laid my hat on feet work. You know what I mean? I don't even say footwork anymore. I branded the name feet work. I know it's not it's not correct English, but I branded that because when you talk about feet, you're talking about both. When you talk about foot, you're talking about one. So I branded that name feet work, and I saw those guys. I had a guy on my team by the name of Philip Zaniel, French guy, national player, one of the top big guys. Kev, man, this dude was getting 30 and 40. He taking 2 and 3 dribbles a game. I'm like, what? And so I started working out with him. And I watched his workouts, how he was doing, the things he was doing with his feet. I mean, he was never taking more than 2 or 3 dribbles to do what he needed to do. When he caught the basketball, he had a plan built inside of his game. And that's what we got to teach our young kids. And that's why it's so important that they have that feet work. Because when you build a plan in your game, it doesn't matter who you play against, you're going to be able to perform. Because everybody think that they have to have the ball, right, to play. But see, as you get older, you're not going to get that many touches. You're just not going to get that many touches. So when you catch the basketball, you got to have a plan, and to be in rhythm. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 when you catch it. So I'm just, kind of like you, Kev. I just know when you learn to use your feet, man, not only you become more efficient, but you're gonna play longer, a la Lewis Williams. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So,
That's the one thing I was so impressed about your program as I watched it over the years. How you because you coached, you played the whole nine. You're in player development. You've seen the state of development. You've seen the changes of it in terms of what's trending today versus what's real. That's the big thing that jumps out when you were talking about all the stuff about what's going on in our game today. People are attracted to what's trending. We've always been attracted to what's real and what needs to be done, and we stay
right,
true to that. And like I said, that's why we're the OGs. And we're the guys that honestly, I'll just say this: we're the guys that all these young guys need to come in and sit down with for a few minutes just to talk about
already.
how to set your program up. I mean, do you is fine because you need to bring your gifts, your passions, your all those things to the game. But there's some fundamental things that you and
Yes,
I have learned through all the
yes,
trial and error of really when it first started. Because I always talk
yes.
about it. I had this conversation with Gerald Wilkins years ago, and we were talking about when it came to player development, we were talking about how it were players working with players. That means
Right.
you play. You can give insight. You can give information. You're talking about things that are actually going on in the game, and the
Sure.
only people that can really do that are guys that have actually been in those situations numbers
Right.
of times over and over. We've seen it so many times that our eyes are closed. We know exactly what to do with it. And
Right.
it's hard to make that connection with guys that they've never been in those situations before.
Sure.
Not saying that you can't do it, yet you can't teach.
Right.
But I really believe you need to come in and sit with guys that have done it at that level or have coached at that level, and they can give you insight on what to teach guys, what to focus
And,
on.
Kev, man, you said a mouthful. And let me say this, man. Like, to me, it's a difference between teaching and conveying. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of guys can teach it. They can go on the internet, Instagram, but if you haven't did it and you don't feel it and you don't know what goes into it mentally, right? How
yeah,
can you convey that? It's like if you're a computer specialist, I, I can't teach you what I don't know, in depth. You see what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I can show you the drills. I can show you what I just saw on the internet and all that kind of stuff. But, like I said, knowledge, I just think it was power. But the truth is power. It's either
Yeah,
right or wrong. It's no in between with this stuff, man. And
yeah,
so, and what happens is a lot of these kids, parents and kids and players are getting misinformed. And so they don't even realize until it's too late because they done got caught up in the hype. You follow me?
yeah,
And so it's so unfortunate. And I agree with you with a lot of these younger guys, man. They need to come in with guys like myself and you and sit down and some of the other guys. I'm open, man. I'm an OG. I give away the plug. You know what I'm saying? I give it away because it's all about enhancing and helping the game, you
yeah,
know? And if I can help you or help somebody else, where he can go help somebody else with my information. That's why you see me posting a whole bunch of stuff. I give it away because I want people to take what I got and hopefully they're able to help someone else, man. And that's what it's about. Everybody, let me tell you something. And there is no one drill and there's no one trainer gonna make you a great player. You know what I
no,
mean? It's gotta be something inside of you. That's the first thing. And you got to have the goods. Now you'll get a chance to maximize your potential, whatever that is, if you come in with the right mindset and the right attitude. We gonna give you the recipe, but you're gonna have to do the cooking, right?
mm,
And so
yeah,
all I'm saying is, man, this is real to me. This is passionate. I remember I started coaching my younger brother at the age of 11, my two brothers, man. In basketball, I started this at 11 years old. So my purpose of doing this was already embedded in me at a very young age, man. And I never stopped since, man. So
wow, man, that's awesome. I mean, our stories are so relatable because especially our beginnings. I think, like you said, like you're the DNA of what you are really is instilled with your family. Like I came from that type of family. My mother played ball. My father was athletic. I had an older brother. You know, they challenged me every day. You know, we had a nice goal in our yard. Our yard was really the playground for the community. Everyone
Right.
came over. And what I noticed over the years, when people came over, we had to be organized because so many
Right.
kids were coming. You know, everything had to everything needed to be set up. So my brother was have everything set up outside. You know, the benches, everything. So there was no confusion. So when we started playing, everyone knew where to go, how to get set up, where to go get water, etc. So I saw those things early on, and it kind of, I'll be honest with you, it actually impacted me because it taught me how to organize. And that's the thing that I saw with you, and that's why I was so attracted to you, because I saw your organizational skills. It wasn't the part of just what you do on the floor. That people get caught up on that part. They don't realize the business of basketball. You really understood that in terms of setting up programming and organization. And when you have organization, now it brings everybody to a place where they're ready to hear now. Because that's the thing. A lot of guys come in and they work on a lot of things, but they haven't received a lot because the way it's introduced. You know,
Right.
and the thing is, that's what I learned from you. And I tell you, man, that's why, I always, when people ask me questions all the time, I say, man, how did you, I see when you come in the gym, everything is just already set up like a, it's like going from one part to the next. So I said, well, I learned that from Bo Bell because, Bo Bell, when I came into his training program early on in my development state of getting involved with this, that's what I saw. And what I did was I brought my own personality and everything to it and all the gifts that I had once I learned that. So foundation is important. Yeah.
Well, Kev, and let me say, man, is, I watch you from afar, man. I watch your work. I'm always shouting you out because I love what you do, man. And what I like about you is, and you remind me of myself so much, man. Like, you in the gym working, right? You work with 3 players, 1 player, it don't matter. You giving the same energy. You know what I'm saying? You giving that player, you giving it to and so that tells me about the passion. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, not only I think you tapped into a purpose with this as well. Because a lot of guys, they just doing this, just doing it. I mean, that's okay, trying to figure it out. But I think if you're just doing this for the money, man, you're in the wrong business. I'm just
Yeah.
being straight with you. If you're doing this only for the money, you're in the wrong business because, see, people don't know the grind or what I've been through or what we've been through just to get to this point. Everybody want to take elevator, man. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
all got to take the stairs. And
Yeah.
see, the thing about it is sometimes them stairs might swerve around. You know what I mean? But they still gonna get you to where you want to go if you stay on them. And
Yeah.
so, me and your life, and I can say my life has been, coming from very humble beginnings, 4 brothers and 4 sisters, man, in the hood, man. I'm talking about ghetto, Herndon home, and no father figures, Kev, man, none. My mom was my shero, and rest in peace, man. She passed away last year around this time, man. So it's kind of touching moment. And then you got Mother's Day coming up, so I'm kind of in my little feelings a little bit, man. Because she's not here with me, man, because she gave me so much strength and courage, and I'm just hoping that when she looked down at me, man, that she continue to be proud of what I'm doing out here, but. I said that coming up in her home, man, and I was the third oldest kid, and so sports was gonna be my way out. This was gonna be football, basketball, or something. I was gonna be sports. That was my way out, and I was much better at football until I broke my leg, right? And I broke my leg, and I started growing. But like I said, I started coaching my younger brother them at 11 years old, man, and I wanted them to feel so like they was a part of something real. I used to go to Georgia Tech because it was only a mile away, mile and a half from where I live. And I used to hang out with the football players. So they used to give me football equipment, man. And I'd bring those helmets back and I'd spray paint them. And then I'd go to the Salvation Army and get old equipment from my brothers and T-shirts and dye them and put numbers on it. I would take the flour that we got from the welfare and I would line the fields off so my brothers can feel like they was part. I did this at 11, man. You know
Wow.
what I'm saying? So this is nothing. What I'm doing, I almost feel like what we both doing is a form of ministry too. Let's just
Yeah.
forget about, drill part. I mean, the drills that's part of it. We're gonna help you get better. but also we want to help you get better as people too along the way.
Yeah.
Okay, hit the basketball, man. Take this with you, man. When you shake my hand, boy, look me in my eyes type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you froze a little bit. Yeah, wait for you to come back in. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, your internet went in and out. Yeah, it was just going in and out. Yeah, and I lost the sound for you. But anyway, yeah, while he's retrieving the sound, what Bo was talking about, man, is so important. You know, the beginning stages of your development really begins with how you those experiences for him were major in terms of um, the things that he was exposed to early on. When you're growing up and you're growing up, especially in the city, you see a lot of things. You see a lot of different options, and so you present a lot of things right away that you have to make choices on. And when you have to make those choices, you have to make the right one. And obviously, Bo made the right one. You know, he got involved with teaching early on, and even though he went on and played professionally, he fell right back into that.
yeah,
Yeah, I was finishing up a statement that I think you were trying to convey to the audience is that the importance of choices. Like even though you came up in this environment, there was some great things going on around you that you chose, and you made the right choice. Got involved with it, and all those seeds that were sown put you in a position to do what you do today. And
right.
that's great, man. I was gonna go into our topic, which led to our second topic. Man, talking about we mentioned the other day about the G League and what's happening. You know, I coached in the G League for 5 years and been a head coach, and now we're seeing that now we have the option of high school players coming in. Coming in right now. I want to get your thoughts about the G League, man. What's going on with that, and from a development standpoint, what's happening with that?
Well, I just think, I just been trying to play this in my mind how it's gonna, affect the amateur status of players and just the whole grassroots um, stuff that's going on. I'm just trying to play it. I think that it's just my opinion and my opinion only, man. I really think it's a good thing, man. If these guys got the goods, you know what I mean, they got a chance to go
Mm-hmm.
and, start their career. Because and I just think you go to college, you go to get an education, don't get it twisted. But if you got the goods, man, um, if you got the goods, man, you got a chance to go get it.
Yeah,
Uh, go go get it. And I think it's gonna be a good thing for these
yeah,
guys, and it's gonna cut out a lot of middleman and riffraff. But I think it's gonna be a good thing.
yeah. I got to switch back around, man. Give me a second.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I was trying to wave, at some people. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But anyway, yeah. I think I'm kind of because I coached in the league and
right,
I've seen so much. But I think it's definitely a good thing to give people choices. I believe in choices. That's what our
right,
country is built on. At
right,
the age of 18, if you're allowed to go
right,
get a full-time job or go into the armed forces at 18, you should be allowed to make the choice to be a professional if you have the goods.
right,
But at the same
right.
time, I think it's great if the development piece is involved on and off the floor. And the NBA
I
has
agree
made
with
great strides in that over
you.
the
Right,
years. And the only thing I'm concerned about is at the age of 18, are you mentally ready to deal with all the things that come with being a professional? Time away from college. Our time was taken up based upon us going to class. It gave us structure. It gave us things to
sure,
do, and it forced us
sure,
to become social so we can build our social skills up. So when we were able to lead, we were able to develop relationships. When you go into pros, there's a lot of downtime people don't realize you have. And what you do with it,
sure.
It's important. And when you're young, that can be challenging, because
Well,
basically you
well, let me.
come to the gym. Normally we get the guys there by 8:30 or 9. They're getting a treatment.
Right.
They're getting a lift. Typically they watch some film, get some individual work, and then we have our team practice. And after that, they're gone. So from 1 o'clock,
Well, let me. Well, I
1:30,
can.
all the way to
Right.
the next. What do you have to do at that age? And sometimes that can
Mm.
be a challenge. And so I really believe that we have to have the right structure around guys at that age to keep them moving and growing in other areas, so they can become better people at the same time. So hopefully that's in place, and that can take place for this transition that the league is making.
Yeah, and I think that us as development coaches, and what I mean by us and people that's handling some of these top guys, the kids that have those opportunities, I think we're going to have to do a better job of preparing them for that level. I mean, I know the social part, I agree with you. I'm going to give you an example. I had a player by the name of Lou Will. He was one of the last ones that came out of high school. I had Lou for 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
and we knew Lou was going to go. You know what I mean? We knew he was going to go. He was slated to go to University of Georgia with Mike Mercer. Um, I just don't know if Lou would have went to Georgia, man, he would have made it up out of there. I'm going to be honest with you. Some players, their circumstances, and Lou was a more mature kid for his age. He was very smart, man. Brilliant kid. And he was mature. Because I'm telling you, man, I go in the gym one time, and this is a true story, in a rec gym in our neighborhood. So I go up in the gym. Lou in the gym, I mean, he beating up on college guys, man. And he walk out, he done made all this money in his pocket. He done beat up on and just done killed the gym. This is in the 10th grade. So that was his hustle. You see what I mean? He was using his skills as his hustle, right? So, and then we used to do a little thing. And he'd beat up those guys and say, come on, Bo, I'll walk in the gym. Come on, let's go to Zaxby. That's his first place. You know what I mean? Let's go to Zaxby. They ain't ready. Let's go to Zaxby. But anyway, we started trying to prepare Lewis when we knew that he was going to have a legitimate opportunity. Because I always talked to him about, it was a whole mentorship type thing from the 9th grade up, because I knew he had the goods to have that opportunity to play at the next level. So I started talking about how to be, as opposed to being a pro and a professional. It's two different deals, right? A pro, he has the skills, he's there. But you see those guys that are professionals, right? They got the skills, but they even trying to go to a whole nother level. To me, those are professionals you own off the court, how you conduct yourself, how you carry yourself, how you articulate. And so we did things as far as I would have Lou go out and speak to our younger teams, go to their banquets and speak to them, get used to speaking to the camera, things like that. But it's certain things that you can't prepare them for at 18 until they experience it for themselves. And fortunate, he had a chance to go to Philly, and Allen Iverson kind of took them under his wing, and and at one point I was kind of nervous about that, because Allen hang out all night long and come back and get 50. So I didn't want Lewis to be thinking, I can do the same thing, you know what I'm saying? But turned out Lewis, he's a person of his own, right? So turned out Lewis, he learned so much from him. Lou learned so much from Allen, man. You know what I mean? He taught him how Lou learned a lot about being a consistent scorer from Allen. You know what I mean? Watching, practicing him, watching his mindset. Lewis was an observer, right? He gonna watch and he gonna learn and he gonna add to his game. Now, I'm gonna tell you, the reason I keep bringing up Lou, and I'm talking about Lou, man. Lou probably top, I'm just saying, just putting the ball in the basket, top 5, top 10 in the world. Just putting the ball in the basket. We talking about in the world. Now here's what's separating is his feet. Nobody said nothing about his feet. He's always under control. He's not jumping over a dime. If he go to the left, you can kiss the baby. You know what I'm saying? And so he's always under control. This boy been in the league 15 years. I've probably seen him get 1, maybe 2 charges. You know what I'm saying? It's because of his feet. He's under control. He poised. And here's the other thing, Kev. He's always on balance.
Oh yeah.
Feet Feet work is key, man. So there it is, man. And he in the league 15 years, and he can go 5 more because of he's efficient, and he beating you with his feet, and they ain't figured it out yet.
Well,
So
he's just a sound player, man. Everywhere he goes, I mean, everyone raves about, he plays under control.
yes,
You always hear Doc Rivers say pace, but under control.
yes,
And the thing is, Lou Williams exemplifies that. And
yes,
and the thing that you also talked about when we were talking about the state of development from and talking about how players can have now go to the G League. The one thing I'm passionate about is something you mentioned. I do a lot in my program. I teach players how to speak and talk and how to articulate their ideas and their concepts.
yes,
One thing that I really emphasize in
yes,
all my skill sessions, I'll tell guys, tell me what I said and tell me what it means. Versus just now, we'll work on something, and I'll say, okay, what is that called? What's the origin of it? Where did it come from? In the middle of the session, I mean, and they're like, I don't know. I said it's not good enough. See, I said I'm training you for something. What happened is when I was in New York, the greatest thing that I got when I worked for the Knicks, media training is huge when you're in New York because you have to speak to the media literally every day. So I was prepared for it at the time.
Sure.
I really grew from that in that area because having to talk to them every day, you have to know how to answer questions and give insight and also give what you're observing and give a perspective of it. Because the thing is, I tell players all the time, don't let anyone control the narrative for you.
Sure.
And the thing is, you learn that through your speech communication. So I'm taking the time now to work with young players, particularly at the age of 13, 14. They're starting to get, with social media now, they're constantly cameras in their face now. They can ask questions. And I'm trying to teach guys how to answer a question, how to take a question and elaborate on it. Really give people, your thoughts, but at the same time, take that breath and then ask a question besides just blurting stuff out. So, that's my second passion away from the game, media training.
Right.
Also, another thing like you mentioned with Lou Williams, even though he came into a situation with Philly when the league was changing from an appearance standpoint, guys were just coming in any kind of way. Having a professional look is important to me.
Yes.
We're the OGs. I'm all for guys, experiment with the new haircuts, etc. I'm good with all that. My thing is let's make it neat.
Right.
Because your appearance is everything.
Right.
You're your own brand.
Right.
When you're coming in, you have to understand this is going to end at some point.
Right.
So the thing is the perception that you're giving
right.
and you're putting out there is what's going to be the narrative.
Right.
When it's over with. And
right.
That's another message that needs to be taught in our player development process.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the only guys that can really do that are guys that have been there and done it. Because guys that are coming up trying to work with guys that are part of that generation,
right?
They don't know it,
right?
And, right. That's why I'm enjoying watching the documentary right now of The Last Dance because people are actually getting a chance to see what real professionals look like. Like when Michael Jordan when he came to the I saw Mike years ago in high school doing it.
Yes.
I was a ball boy for the team, and my job was to make sure he had double mint gum before every game. So I would watch him come in. I would watch him come in the gym. He was always immaculate with his clothes. Everything was pressed. He had the tight hats on. He had the same jackets he's wearing now. He was wearing that stuff back in the day. And what I noticed about it, he knew it was an event when he entered the gym.
Wow.
The moment he came into the time he left, when he came out of the locker room, even in high school, his clothes were pressed, everything. He never came out and he was not neat. And the thing is, I think that's important to show guys. I even talked to, I've worked with all my guys on that stuff. And, I've gotten on their nerves about it. Like, man, kid, like man, you own us, man, all the time about everything. I'm like, yes, because people are looking at you. Companies are looking at you. You want to get involved with commercials and et cetera, being speak for companies, you have to present an image that's professional. Be you, but understand that, look, you got to present a certain, persona to attract people.
Right.
Cross culture. See, the
Right.
thing is, talking about
Right.
international. See, the thing,
Right.
people got everyone wants to just represent their neighborhood. See, you went and played ball internationally. So every time I speak to kids, I'm thinking about the world. I'm not thinking about
Yes.
our where we are right here. It's about the whole thing. So
Yes.
yeah, any
Yes.
thing to
Yes.
say about that.
No, 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 no. That's good stuff, though, Kev. You absolutely right, man. And that's the thing, man. Too. That's one of my pet peeves, too, man. About being professional and being groomed. Just
Mhm.
I mean, I get it. You want to express yourself. I mean, that's okay, right? But think about now. You are enterprise now. You're your own incorporate. You're your own corporation, right? You're a businessman, right? And you're trying to sell. So who are you trying to sell to? You got all these millions of people watching you, not just in the United States, but around the world, right? And then some of these companies, man, that's why a lot of guys don't get, they don't get endorsements, is because they don't have the right appeal or right image, or you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
for several other reasons. But my thing is, I like seeing guys express themselves. But like you say, man, just be groomed, be sharp, be always, because you never know who's watching you, man. Especially these little kids, man. And that's so important. Um,
well, the thing is, they have to know they are watching. They're
right,
watching all the time, and I tell
right,
kids all the time, like college coaches. I know a lot of college coaches. A lot of my friends are in the game on the female and the male side. They're constantly on social media now. And I think people need to recognize that they're watching, they're looking at stuff. So what you put out there is important.
right,
The content that you put out there, and so take the time, take that breath before you open your mouth up. Think about what you're presenting, and at the
right,
same time, continue to put yourself around people that are going to really challenge you to get better in those areas. Because
right,
I go to a lot of high school games, and I watch a lot of kids get interviewed after games, and I'm shaking my head like, man, these kids need help. They need someone to grab them to show them how to answer questions effectively. You don't get up
right,
and say, man, you gave work now. You did this. Like, yeah, man. I'm just, I guess I just did my thing. I'm just, I'm all, I was all over the place. Like, no, like, stop for a second, slow down, take a breath, look at
right,
the cameraman, and really think about what he asked you. And then the second thing, get the attention off of you. Focus first
right,
on being thankful that you had an opportunity to have a chance to play.
right,
Number two, then
right,
you talk about what things that you guys were concentrating on this week that helped you get the win. All right, you always bring it to you what the accomplishments you brought to the table at the end of the conversation.
right,
Because the thing is, it's always about the group. So try to teach guys that. I mean, those are things I'm passionate about. I mean, it's a whole list of things and a training program for that. And hopefully, man, one day we can get together and have a camp and where we can do all that stuff. Because I think camps and clinics today have to be centered around the entire aspect. Because
right,
the world is moving so fast now. With the internet, we have to be in a position now to really expose them to everything that's necessary to help them become effective quickly, because things are coming at them much faster than they were coming at us. We were in this little cubby hole to a certain degree coming up because we didn't have all these things to get to. But now all they have to do is just click a button and they're
right,
there. So we have to be prepared for that. So that's what you mean by the world has changed and it's
right,
different. So we have to make those adjustments. So yeah.
right. Well, Kev, I think too, man, I think myself, along with you, I think we have a responsibility, man, to help the young ones that's trying to be in this space and trying to be successful in this space. And I think at some point, man, we're gonna have to merge together, and we're gonna have to do something on a bigger scale, man, so we can deliver this information to a lot of these kids or a lot of these players or a lot of these guys, where they can
Yeah.
come to us, man. We'll have a seminar here. We'll have something over here. We'll go to this country. We'll go to this state. We'll go to that country. Just doing these seminars, helping them, just giving them, because one thing I do know, and I know for a fact, it's either right or wrong. There's no in between. And what's happening is a lot of these kids are getting bored with the basics, right?
Yeah.
Because they're watching so much of the good looking stuff, the stuff that everybody get the wow and the pow, but the game is still played on the floor. And so
Yeah.
I just think that we got to get we got to open up some of these, the trainers' eyes. Some of these young guys, they're doing a good job. Don't get it wrong, but I think some of them don't have a methodology in mind. There's no method. They're just doing drills, and so I think it's so much information that they can give to us. And I got a lot of young trainers that follow me, man, and I'm happy
Yeah.
they do. And they know, and they'll call me, they'll send me an email. Oh man, I got this situation. Boom, I hit them right back. You know what I mean? Can you send me some to help my kid with this? Boom, I send them something. You know what I mean? So for me, it's about empowering and helping as many players and coaches or anybody that I can possibly help, man, through this thing, because basketball is a powerful tool if it's used the right way. Because me and you can contest to this. So anybody that's involved with any successful businessman that played this game, right? He, like Obama, what was his pastime sport? Basketball. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is there's so many life skills inside of the game if you learn how to play it the right way. And what you put in is what you get back. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I was gonna move to our next topic, man. I was I've been thinking about this. You kind of talked about positionless basketball early. I want to kind of get back to that to a certain degree, but only difference is I want to talk about I saw a documentary a few months ago about the post game, how it's been eliminated. Patrick was on there. A lot of that Hall of Famers were on there talking about what happened to the post game. And with this influx of positionless basketball coming in and the way the game is taught. I remember, when they first started the Nike Skills Academies years ago, you were a part of that, that first staff, and what happened is when we came in, we had position camps where we had the point guard, we had the Steve Nash's camp, we had Kobe's camp, we had Paul Pierce's camp, we had the Amari Stoudemire Skills camp, and we had LeBron's camp, which we put all 5 positions together. And it was time to get it in at that point. So where today the post is been eliminated. Yes, sir. You there?
Like it was yesterday. Like it was yesterday. Yeah, I'm still here. Are you
Okay.
still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I was
You got me?
give you a chance to.
Yeah. So, yeah, Kat, I
I
remember
was
like it was yesterday.
I was just talking about that where the post
No, I heard you.
absent now from play.
I got it.
That is such a vital area of the floor that still needs to be a part of the game. I'm not. I see a lot of people going away from it. And I think it's helping and hurting the game. And I know why they're doing it because of analytics. And the analytics shows that the more threes we get up, the pace is faster, it creates more transition. Those are great. But the thing is, I remember years ago, we would be in games and coaches would say, well, what's the fastest way to break a team that's on a roll? A post up. Because what it does, it gives us a chance to get defensive balance.
Right.
And when you poke, when a guy has someone seal, what it does, it puts everybody in certain areas of the floor.
Right.
Where we can react off double team. We can get into pick and roll opposite. And the thing is, when, I like everyone talking about it going away, but I've noticed LeBron's going back to it. AD gets there. Guys get to those sweet spots. And the thing is, Kevin Durant has learned that now. He said, hey, you know what? I like dancing out here. I like giving you this, but let me get over here on this mid block, catch it and face you a couple of times. So I can keep the defense in a position where I can draw that second and third defender and I can get guys to sweet spots, to the wing, to the corner on the swing action. So, I think the game, I think it still needs to be emphasized and taught. And I see you work with bigs a lot, and I see that all the time. And I work with a lot of post players, and I still believe that the post game is still a valuable asset to the game at every level, but it's not taught anymore, and that's concerning.
Yeah, I remember. Let me touch back on that Nike Skill Academy situation, man. I remember when they were first. It was 2004 when they first came up with the idea to
Yep.
do it. You know, this was a big deal. And so they got Kevin Cantwell, who's I don't know if Kevin is still with the Clippers, but he was with Boston. He was with Doc the whole time. And he was the
Oh,
director.
Kevin Eastman.
Yeah, Kevin Eastman. I'm sorry. Yeah, Kevin Eastman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Coach E.
Yeah, Coach E. Yeah. So long story short, so they sent him around the country to get, 4 or 5 of the top guys who they thought. And so they flew him. He flew to Atlanta. He came to Swanee Sports Academy, and he saw me working. And I just saw him get on the phone and said, I guess he was talking to Ravel or whoever, and say, "Oh, this is what I'm talking about." So long story short, they flew me in to Beaverton, Oregon, and like 4 or 5 other guys, and they put all of us in the room, and that's when we created the curriculum for all those
Yep.
academies, right? Right
Yes.
there. And so just like what they did with y'all, they brought in Durant, they had Lou, Kevin Love, they had all the top high school players. And so we experimented with them with it. And so we separated the bigs, we separate the twos, we separate the ones, you know what I mean? And every day we had a different curriculum and different structure. Okay, this is what we're gonna do in the Steve Nash. This is what we're gonna do in the Brian. So it was already premeditated kind of. We were setting the curriculum up for those skill academies. So
Yeah.
the thing that I want to say though, Kev, is about the post up is they just not enough. I just think the guys are so dynamic now and so athletic and so long. And see, and you know how it is when you got so many guys on the floor, uh, uh, the floor gets small, especially big guys. It gets smaller. So I think at some point they're gonna have to open up the floor. You know what I'm saying? And I think at some point they're gonna have to turn that lane into a triangle like they had in Europe at one point, right? And my point is for that is I believe guys need to continue to work on, but I think it's gonna revolve and go back to that. Just like everything else goes around.
Well,
Like we watched,
yeah.
it's gonna go back to that. It's gonna go back to that, some of that. But this is a new thing, the driving kick, the driving kick, the pass, to move the ball around, to break to create the spacing. And so as well as I know, Kev, on offense, you want to create space. On defense, you want to take it away. And having all those dynamic athletes, if you got a big man in the post, when they break him down, the big man is already there. So what they saying, if we keep this middle of this floor open, right? If we break down, somebody got to help. Because no one player can stay in front of one man. So coaches are getting smart to simplify it. Let's keep the floor, the middle of the floor open. Because if you get in the heart of any defense, really is broken down. And so I think a lot of coaches are going with, along with analytics, right? But I think that's their basic principle behind it, is to keep the middle of that floor open so guys can break the defense down at any given time instinctively. And then
Yeah.
now, once you break it down, then you read and react. So that's what I think.
Yeah. And I'm for that. I just think I'm for all that. I just think balance has to be there. I think the 50-50
Yes.
rule needs to be in everything that we do. And I think
Yes.
now it's not 50-50. It's literally 90-10 now. And
Right.
when I come in a training facility and the first emphasis when I grab my big guys is on VHOs and pick and roll, I
Right.
think and we spend probably the last 6 minutes working on posting.
Right.
That's tough. And the thing is,
Mm-hmm.
we came along at a time, with the game. Well, I know when I came along, the game was evolving. I mean, this
Right.
is not the first time we've seen bigs step out. Like
Right.
I came along with the Chris Webbers, the guy that really exposed, as a big facing up, Derek Coleman. People forget about DC.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, Brad Sellers. I
Right.
mean, there were bigs that could step out and do that.
Right.
Imagine, like I said, imagine if Brad Sellers was playing today. The skill
Sure.
set he had. I mean, he was 7 feet, could handle, shoot it, the whole nine. But he was obsolete at that time because the game was predicated on guys getting down at that size, catching, facing, ripping through, attacking the rim, which is fine. And it's like, so the thing is, just the balance is important.
Right.
This is nothing new. No, we big guys always want to get outside. It's like
Right.
we've always seen little guys that want to go inside. Tim Hardaway was unbelievable with his back to the basket. He could back you
Right.
down. He could attack you, off spin moves, the whole nine. I mean, Gary Payton. I mean, we can go all the way down the list of great guards that had big man skills.
Right.
And they benefited from that. And I just think that we just have to keep a balance. That's all. And I think the balance is there. And
yeah,
the game will continue to stay safe.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Kev. But I also know that the NBA is a copycat league. You know what I'm saying?
Always
yeah, it's a copycat league. So you got just say Golden State. You know how they won championships. You know it wasn't no posting up. It wasn't that. Everything was 5 out. You know what I'm saying? Tight motion, move, drive, kick, beat your man, make the right choice. They was just hooping. You know what I mean? And so, good. No, I'm sorry.
Their personnel dictated that. You have to look at.
Right.
I mean, Bogut was a DHO guy.
Right.
You got Draymond Green that can play 5 positions on the floor. Klay Thompson. Great spot shooter, a 1-2 dribble pull-up guy. Steph Curry, he's a facilitator. He's a jack of all trades. He can do it all. Pick and roll, spot shoot. He's a highlight reel. Then you add KD, he's like all of that and something. So they were just they were loaded to play that way.
Right.
I don't think every team could. And the thing is, when they first started, every team couldn't play that way. That's why they were so successful. Now you look at the league, everybody copycatted them.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's kind of hard. Like, okay, and you and like me and you both know how important the post game is. Yeah. And so that's why with the bigs that I work with, they definitely gonna get a dose. That's definitely gonna be a part of their work regimen working with me. It's post, because you never know when you need that. Not just the bigs, the guards too. One thing I know is if you got good feet work, right, you can play anywhere on the court. You can play anywhere on the basketball. It's just about feel from that point, right? But I just know that when you watch teams like Golden State, and let me say the Spurs, right? Spurs played the right way, even when they had Timmy, right? They'll post Timmy up when they needed to. Timmy was on that shorter elbow at the top of the key. You know what I'm saying? And they kept that thing open too, because they had Tony was breaking everybody up. They had Manute breaking everybody down. Yeah. So when you get in the middle of the floor, that's the key to the kingdom. And I'm just saying, because the guys are so dynamic and so athletic. The athleticism that these guys got now is bananas, man. It's bananas. I mean, we was athletic. Kev, you was pretty athletic. I was okay athletic. I wasn't real athletic. But you was one of them freak athletes, But they got like 5 or 6 dudes in the NBA now that can jump like Jordan used to jump. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And back then, it was on Jordan and then everybody else. You know what I mean? But they got like 5, 6 guys in the league that can jump like Jordan now. So, these guys, man, they freaks. But the issue is, I think with a lot of them, they in there, and a lot of these guys can play, but they don't know how to play. That's the difference, man. Yeah.
And the last point, I was going to make, you're right about that. I was fortunate enough to play in the triangle offense as a player. And I had the privilege of teaching it as well. And a lot of people get upset about the triangle offense and say, well, man, it's not for today. I think that offense is the exact blueprint of, Tex Winter was right on it. He had the bigs lifted to the elbows. You saw actions on the post. You also saw actions from the high-low. You also, there were pick and roll actions in it. We had a lot of DHO action, which is dribble handoff. If people are trying to figure that out, we had a lot of guard-to-guard handoffs in that offense. There are probably about 35 to 40 reads in that offense that people don't even know about. When they see that offense, they only saw, when people normally see, they see the strong side fill, which now the 2 pass to the top and the pinch post catch. That's the most popular version that people see. They don't know about the other actions off of it that generates all the actions you see in the league today. So Tex Winter And
Right.
those guys, they understood the middle of the floor where it needed to open up. Like everyone always, picks on Mike about, or Mike picks at Tex about, when I get the ball, I need the space. Tex had it all designed that way. When the ball was
Right.
lifted and went opposite, what was important to them is that they had 3 guys set up. So when anytime the defense was able to converge or put pressure on him, he knew where guys were. And
Right.
that made him a champion. That's what gave him a chance to win multiple championships over and over. And that's what's missing in the game today. You see a lot of guys taking sporadic shots from areas of the floor, which they're not great shots. They're okay shots. And it's hurt the game to a certain degree. But at the same time, I think, like you said, it's evolving, but we just have to keep that balance. And with that balance,
Right.
the game will remain to grow in the right direction. So, but you said before, it's going to evolve back, and I'm just looking forward to evolving back. I guess I'm just old school,
I
but
know, right?
at the same time,
Right.
I do believe we have to be adjustable, like anything else. We're in times right now where we have to adjust. We have to adjust to the new normal. You figure it out. You figure out a different way to get it done. So that's what it's about.
Right.
And, yeah, man.
Right.
But, man, I'm so glad we got on this morning, man. This was great. Like I said, I wish I didn't have to go to work. I got to get out here and get going. And because right now, both of us are doing the same thing. We're doing virtual training, which is an adjustment.
Yep.
And,
Yes.
and reaching players through this mechanism we have, which is, FaceTime, Zoom, etc.
Yes. Yes.
And so that's another thing we got to talk about, the
Absolutely.
change of how to communicate what we're doing through here. But one thing I was going to say before I got off, and I'm going to let you, Ty, speak again on this, is what I've learned is forcing guys like myself and you to get out of our comfort zone. And it's also giving kids the opportunity to learn how to use those verbal skills now, because through this, you have to be able to talk. You have to be able to convey information. You have to be able to demonstrate it, but you also have to be able to express it through here.
Right.
And those are key things. I know you want
to that is so valuable, man. Because nowadays, man, if you take away these devices from a lot of the kids, players, or whoever, I've gotten immune because, I do a lot of stuff on my device, on my phone or what have you. And the thing about it is the communication skills, they're just not there because kids don't even, like you talking to them, they're looking away. Players, they don't look you in the eyes. There's little things like that. Communication skills is even part of not just in life, but on the basketball court. I got some kids, they don't even talk, bro. They don't even talk. What's this? What's this? What's that? What the hell is that, man? What is that? You know what I mean? Shaking your head. Man, I'm asking you a question, man. What? What'd you say?
Yeah.
No, shaking your head. What is that? So just little things like that, man. And I'm just, this has been an honor, man, that, we got on, man, and let's stay connected, man, because I just know it's so much that we have to offer, man, to the game, and you never stop plugging. I never stop plugging because you're passionate about this. And I think on the back end, I feel as though you feel the same as I do. There's a purpose behind what you do as well. And I think, and I don't even have an alarm clock, Kev. I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes I wake up late, but very rarely, man. My purpose wake me up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm just so grateful, man, to be able to wake up. So,
yes, sir. Yeah, man.
All that,
man. Hey, likewise, man. Same thing, man.
Yeah.
I'm just glad you're able to take the time to talk, man. I want to thank you, man. And we're gonna keep this thing moving, man. Like I said, we're just starting. We're not at the end. We're still in the middle of our journey. We're gonna keep it moving. So I just want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. This is my man, Bo Bell.
Already, man.
Like I said, I was gonna just close with saying, remember, footwork, balance, mechanics, and follow through. Those everything begins with the feet. And the thing is, we're going to keep stressing that. Need everybody to stay on with that. All you young guys out here trying to teach, make sure you teach footwork, which feet work now.
There you go, Kev. There we go. Feet work, baby. You got it.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. That's love, man. Already. Thank you, man. Love.
Right.
Appreciate
Later.
it. Yo.